Howdy Hum, everybody. This is Bryce Dubbridge, and today we're talking about elbow pain. Does it hurt where your forearm meets your elbow? Anytime you grip your hands, or you pull your hand down, or you're carrying a bunch of stuff, if you're maintaining a household property, or you're a construction worker, or you're a body worker, you use your hands, or you're just a regular old human being, and hey, one day you wake up and it hurts on your elbow, specifically on the forearm side. Well, today's video is just for you. Here we go. All right, everybody. So if you're having pain right around here, like I am, from doing lots of construction things, maintaining a property, been gripping a lot, been pulling my hand down a lot, been bending my elbows a lot, and I'm still doing my yoga practice, and I'm overdoing my lifting on my palms. So I'm now, if you've been watching the other wrist videos, you'll know that there's two ingredients for healing an injury. Number one, you have to relax what is too strong. Right now, this whole line of tissue has become too strong. Second ingredient, you have to strengthen what is weak, which is going to be the opposite direction. Wrist extensors, wrist flexors. Now, fastest way to release and relax a muscle that's too strong is through massage. Somebody else's hands are ideal. Not always possible. Second form, your own hands. I've been using my thumb to really dig in throughout these forearms. But too much of this and my right hand is going to start to hurt. You can check out the wrist pain videos. If you start getting too dense and too tight and too strong in the palm from doing too much massage on the forearm, check those videos out. They will set you up for some practices on how to undo the negative side effects of your therapy for your forearm. The other thing is I dig in with my fingertips. And this has been a way for me to diagnose and find exactly where the specific line of tissue is that's becoming too dense too quickly. And for me, it's very much related with the little and ring finger, because it's right in here that is the most dense. So we're going to go over a few massage techniques. First, very gentle, and then quite strong. But just doing massage is not going to be enough to fully change this pattern. To really change the pattern, I have to include the second ingredient, foreshadow, strengthening what is weak, developing more extension. You can see whenever I pull my hand down, you can actually see these muscles engage. Even when I just pull my fingers down, much less when the wrist goes down, you can see it engage through the bottom of the forearm. Now, the opposite direction is lifting up on the hand, which you can see engages the exact opposite spot from where it's hurting. Yes, it's hurting right here, but that's not the problem. The problem is a couple of centimeters, a couple of inches above there, where the muscles become too dense, too fast from overuse. So, spending time extending the hand, extending the wrist, but also extending the hand is a movement I've been doing throughout the day, and it's really helping. So, to get deeper into the self-massage, get yourself one of these little fancy bouncy balls. Kind of used to play with when you're a kid. They used to come in gumball machines, and now they only come on Amazon, and they're about 20 bucks for 100 of them. So, to dig in with this little baby, set it on the floor, use the top hand as leverage to really dig in and swipe forward and back. Start a couple of centimeters, at least 1 inch above the joint where the pain is, because you don't want to really massage the joint because it's just tendon in there, and you're going to make things worse by aggravating and inflaming those tendons by massaging the joint. So you want to start at least 1 inch, maybe 2 inches, that's 2 to 4 centimeters, And you start digging around in there, and right around here it feels pretty crunchy. I'm gradually going to work this way towards the hand, and I just go a few millimeters, maybe a quarter or an eighth of an inch at a time. And I keep swiping forward and back. Still crunchy, that's good. That means I'm kind of digging into the fascia and it's opening and it's separating the muscle fibers. But right about here is when it starts getting more chunky. Instead of crunchy, it's more chunky, where I can feel the muscle fibers are kind of bound up more like I'm rolling over a speed bump. It's just like thunk, 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 thunk. It's not as crunchy as it was down lower. And especially right about here, that's when it's super speed bumpy. It's just like a big old gunk, 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 gunk. And that's where these individual fibers, these individual strings, have kind of wrapped around each other like a rope. And that is the cause of this pain I'm having in the elbow. Now, this technique is not quite enough to really break it down. I'm not really getting as much pressure as I need. So, the next, of course, go all the way up the hand, but then when you're ready, if you're ready for something much deeper, grab yourself a few blocks. I'll show you a couple different angles. I'm going to start by taking my forearm on top of the block, several inches of my hand hanging off the edge. Use the other block for my toes, and then I can press my knee, which is going to be the most intense, or I can start off with my elbows. Now, somebody else's elbow is going to be much more effective because they can get a lot more body weight than I can, and it's just a little bit awkward of an angle. But still, I can get a lot of relief by just leaning into the elbow, and then we're going to do what's called a pin and stretch technique. I'm pinning down the muscle with my elbow, and then I'm moving my hand in the opposite direction. I'm strengthening the opposite direction. And what's happening is everywhere from where I'm pinning down the muscle towards the wrist, it's forcing that whole portion to stretch, to lengthen, which is what I want, because it's this whole area right in here that is no longer lengthening. That's where it's all bound up and it's all gunky. It's just like a bunch of ropes. Down in here, it's more like fibrous and crunchy, so I know it's good. But the pain is coming from right here. But I know that right in here, it's all chunky. That's where I got to go. So that's where I'm going. This is how the pin and stretch technique is going to be extremely helpful. A lot of massage therapists know this, especially medical massage therapists. I learned this technique from a dear friend, Chase Cecil, in Oklahoma City. If you need a solid medical massage therapist, check him out. Otherwise, you got to do it on your own. So, elbow pins down the muscle. And then I move the hand in the opposite direction. Little pulses. Opposite direction. But I'm not getting as much pressure as I want. So, take my other hand forward. My toes on the block. And I smash down that forearm. Once I find the spot I want, ooh yeah, right there, buried treasure. I lean in, I breathe, and I start doing pulses, taking my hand in the opposite direction. And once I feel the muscles start to warm up and soften, then I'll move on to different portions of the forearm. Before I do that, I'm going to show you a different angle. Pin it down and stretch it. Pin and stretch. So my dear yogis, I've been doing this for a couple of days now and it's really helping, like dramatically. I'm also minimizing how much I use this hand. When I do use it, I'm keeping my palm open and I'm trying not to grip. That is speeding up the process because I'm removing the very ingredient that's created this problem in the first place. So, along with avoiding the gripping movement, I'm constantly throughout the day prying my hand open. And as I'm getting all these tissues to open, and I'm prying my hand open, I'm getting these amazing adjustments inside my hand and inside my wrist and inside my forearm as it's pulling the bones back into place as I'm strengthening the area that's relationally weak. If you've watched the wrist videos, you'll know that to apply this to my practice, I'm keeping the weight in the palm of the hand and I'm lifting the whole front of my hand off the floor and I'm doing my vinyasas when I practice. That looks like this. So, my dear friends, I hope this video has been helpful. I hope you learned something. I hope you get some use out of this. Please reach out if you have any questions. Write a comment. Give it a share if you're enjoying it, if you benefit from this work. And I'm available. I do private classes, online Vinyasa Yoga Therapy every Tuesday and Thursday. I got classes right here at Spirit on the Water every Wednesday, and retreats worldwide, especially Crete, May 23rd through the 30th, 2026, alongside my dear yogi brother Joey Paz. So please reach out if there's ever anything I can do to support you in your practice, in your life. I'm all for it. So I hope you have a wonderful day. Sending you all the best from the Virgin Islands. Hari Om.